Faith pays rewards. Two friends who lived in the same village were also companions in misfortune. This predicament had come about because both of them had gone through their inheritances through sheer idleness and folly. When they found that they had nothing to eat, they decided to go to the neighboring kingdom and ask help of the king. King Mahendra's generosity and kindness to those in need was a well-known fact in his own realm and in all the neighboring states. On their way to King Mahendra's kingdom, they met a stranger. He did not appear to be either very rich or very poor, but he had an air of supreme contentment about him. He asked the two friends, "Where are you going, and what is the purpose of your journey?" One of the friends replied, "Good sir, we have been unlucky in business and have become bankrupt, so we are going to see King Mahendra, who, as you know, is a very generous man, to ask him to help us start life anew." "Where are you going?" the friends asked the stranger. "Nowhere in particular," answered the stranger. "Forgive me for saying this, but I hate to receive help from any other human being. I only seek God's help when I really need it." To this, the friends replied, "Since God does not have either hands or feet, can he not help you through a human being? I believe wholeheartedly in God, and he has never failed me," claimed the stranger. After a long and tedious journey, the three men arrived at King Mahendra's capital. Since it was becoming dark, they found a rest house in which to spend the night. Now King Mahendra was in the habit of walking through the streets of his capital incognito, observing his subjects and listening to their conversations. That very same night, the king happened to pass by the rest house, and, hearing them having a heated discussion, he stopped to listen. When they retired for the night, the king went his way, after noting the number of the room they occupied and the whereabouts of the rest house. Next morning, the king sent for the three strangers and asked them, "Why have you come to my kingdom, and what is it that you need?" One of the two friends replied, "Your Majesty, I was born rich, but because I was foolish, I soon ran through my inheritance. Had I worked, I would not have been in this sad plight today. If your highness can spare me 10,000 pieces of gold, I know that I will be able to make good with it and regain my former position." The other friend said, "At one time I was the luckiest man alive, because not only did I inherit a vast sum of money, but I also had the most beautiful wife. Unfortunately, my beloved wife fell ill and died. After she died, I never bothered to work, and soon my inheritance dwindled away. Now I am a hopeless wanderer. If your Majesty can find another beautiful wife for me and also give me enough money to buy a farm, I am sure that I will soon become prosperous again." "What do you want from me?" the king asked the other man. "Your Majesty," he replied, "I have no desire or need for anything. By the grace of God, I am able to manage from day to day, and I bless the Almighty for being so kind to me." The king thought to himself, "Here is an arrogant fellow. How dare he defy me by saying he can do without my gifts?" Outwardly calm, though inwardly raging, the king said in an imperious voice, "You two will be given all that you have asked for." Then turning to the other man, he said, "And you will go away empty-handed through no fault of mine." As soon as the three strangers had left his palace, the king summoned two of his bodyguards. "On the road leading out of my capital, you will find three strangers. One of them will be carrying 2 bags filled with gold coins. Another has 1 bag of gold coins and is accompanied by a beautiful woman. The third man is empty-handed. Cut off his head and bring it to me." In the meantime, the man who had the 2 bags of gold coins soon became tired, because it was a very hot day. So he asked the man who had nothing to carry to take the bags from him and to continue on his way, whilst he rested under the shade of a big tree beside the road for a little while. The king's guards found the stranger resting under the tree with nothing whatsoever in his possession. Thinking he was the right man, the guards cut off his head and hurried with it to the king. The king was surprised when he saw the wrong man's head and ordered his men to go back and find the stranger, who was not accompanied by a beautiful woman, and to decapitate him. Now the man who had been given the beautiful lady was feeling very hot and tired too. When they came to a pond of lovely crystal clear water, he could not resist the temptation of bathing in it. Telling his companions not to wait for him and that he would catch up later, he jumped into the water, clothes and all. The king's guards found the stranger enjoying himself in the pond, and thinking him to be the right man, as he had no beautiful woman with him, they cut off his head and took it to the king. The king was aghast when he saw that once again they had brought the wrong man's head. He decided to go and find out for himself how two such tragedies had happened. Jumping onto his fastest stallion, he set off down the highway at full speed. It was not long before he caught up with the last stranger, who was struggling along the road, almost bent in two, with the weight of the 3 bags of gold coins. The beautiful woman was walking at a respectable distance behind him. "Stop!" shouted the king. "Where are your 2 friends?" "One of them is taking a rest, and the other one is having a swim," replied the man. "They asked us not to wait for them, saying that they would catch up with us later on." The king realized that the hand of God had played a part in this strange turn of events and felt very sorry for what he had done. He explained all that had happened and the reason for it to the stranger, and he asked him to keep the beautiful woman and the 3 bags of gold for his very own. The stranger accepted the gifts as the will of God, and after thanking the king, he continued on his way. Moral: faith and patience always bring divine justice.